The 9 Years' War began 131 years after fought, or in former calculation of time, the year 2039. It had to happen. Everybody was selfish and only cared about his own freedom and well-being. The economic war between the USA and China climaxed in an economic collapse, followed by a war with no regard and no mercy. The fight saw no rules. Nobody felt themselves bound to the Geneva Conventions of warfare. Although some nuclear skirmishes appeared, nobody would put their whole arsenal to use, fearing to transform the planet into uninhabited wasteland. This, however, applied not to the use of chemical or biological weapons, which therefore were used in large numbers. All nations tried to exploit the dirtiest ways of warfare with the ultimate goal of being victorious. The world found itself fallen to 9 years of blood, terror and tears, before they were able to see clear again. After most of the resources were used, and it appeared that there would be no winner, the war ultimately came to an end. When this was over, the world, as it had been known before, needed something new. Something that would ensure happiness and stability for everyone. The heads of some states, which were able to survive the nightmare, came together, taking measures to ensure such thing would not be repeated. Through many discussions, one main question seemed not to be answered. This question was, how?
Dinner's almost ready. Where are you going?
What do I look like?
Adorable. Just perfect. By the way, did I tell you that you look good?
Yes. I told you about the job I would be able to get.
Yeah.
Well, they wrote me yesterday evening that they want to see me today.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I know, but I really got to go now. Bye.
Bye.
Did you turn off the Wi-Fi? I told you I'm not having lunch with you, and you know that.
Yeah, but we are a family and we're eating together. Oh, hey, Jack. Where's your sister?
Well, I don't know, and I really don't care. Probably outside.
Okay, well, we'll just be straight.
Where's Mom?
She's going to get the job she told us about.
Oh wow, I can understand her completely. It gets so boring so fast. I never thought that gaming all day and reading books. Why are we not living somewhere where more people live?
Young man, you should be grateful that you still have those things after this terrible, destructive war.
That's enough media for you today.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Took you long enough.
So good. Evening. 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 So.
Good evening, fellow leaders of this world. We all came here today to find and discuss the new way of our world. Since we all have our governments entirely under our control now, I would suggest that we lay down all our conflicts and use this historical meeting to unite all of our countries to one big world state where everybody of us is so-called controller will keep his territory under equal voting rights on our worldwide meetings. Has anyone questions on this suggestion?
That sounds very good to me. My state can't bear another war like that. But what will happen with the territories which aren't under our control?
Isn't that obvious? United, our power will be that big that we can just force them to do whatever we want them to do.
Well, that sounds good. So do we have a deal?
Okay then. Everybody who agrees to that proposal, raise your hands. Okay. Was decided. I've prepared some documents.
Fine. But then this leads us to our next topic. If we spread the news of our new world state, we would have to introduce our new concept. So how do we want the world to be like? On that point, it has to be said first that the people, at least in my territory, and I believe in yours as well, are weakened, unhappy and poor because of the war. What this society, in my opinion, needs is a new stability and, of course, the most important thing at all, happiness. Happiness obviously is a difficult point because everybody perceives the world in his own way. And because of this, happiness is differently caused for anybody. Though we can at least start with stabilizing our society and serve at least some happiness with that as well. Is that okay? Fine. So how can we achieve stability in such a divided and destroyed society with so many different cultures? The question already names it. The culture is the main problem, and cultural assimilation can solve it. The second problem, related to the poverty, can be solved through strict capitalism. So we would have to make people consume for working and stable capitalism. And the last problem is the difference in the non-cultural level of education and mindsetting, which we can only solve over the time when the first two problems are solved, through a consistent education all over the world. Is there anybody disagreeing with that?
I am not sure whether capitalism is really the right decision. In a world state with all the possibilities of all the world, communism might bring no loss of stability and more happiness for all the world.
Fine, but we can at least agree on a system where we need consumption for reinitializing a working society, can't we?
Yeah, I believe that would be necessary.
Okay, I would agree that this might be a good plan for the not too close future. But at the time, we still have to create stability through military power, if we don't want the entire system to collapse before your plans come true. But it might actually be a good idea to start with the cultural assimilation right now. One option for doing that would be to announce officially that cultural and history teaching is forbidden and make the point clear through a military example on destroying historical or cultural places with people in them. As well, it would be obviously necessary to destroy all the other historical and cultural places as well, but maybe less violently.
I can agree with destroying the British Museum in London. The people there are generally too self-controlled for my interests.
So shall it be like this? Raise your hand.
Well, then it seems to be decided. Let's hope that those decisions bring new structure to our world. Thank you for the meeting. Thanks.
Be quiet already. What do you want Raymond to use?
Where are we going?
We're going going to the museum. Demonstrate.
Demonstrating?
Yes, demonstrating. Did you hear what they did at the Golden Screen? They mowed down hundreds with the machine guns just because they were fighting for the right to enjoy culture.
Of course I heard of it. It's horrible. All those poor people that vote the will of the government. That's just not right.
Exactly, and that's why we're going to the museum, to show them that they can't hold us down, that they can't take our culture from us. So hurry before Mom and Dad come home.
I'm not sure about this, Jack. What if...
They can't kill all of us, Thea. They still need people for their stupid world state, and we're showing them that they can treat us as they please.
I don't know.
Then go. If you're not willing to fight for your freedom, go.
Jack! 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 Oh my god, Jack! Jack!
That shouldn't have happened. No, it shouldn't have happened. The reaction is very understandable. I thought we would fight for happiness and stability.
You're right, I can understand what you're saying. It's clear now that killing some culture-loving idiots will just result in a revolt. But we already have a new idea.
What do you mean, we? You know what? I'm out. There has to be another way. It took us such a long time to come to the point where Poland is right now. Our power is greater than Germany's. I'm not willing to give this up for some ill-considered ideas.
I can assure you that these ideas are not ill-considered. I'll give you all the proof you need.
What's that?
That's the awesome new concept we've introduced. To solve all the problems